I might just do like this here, so no one. Welcome everyone, both online and in the classroom. Thank you for bearing with us. We've had a few technical difficulties here in the library, but that doesn't stop anything when we're pursuing our goals, and that is the whole reason and purpose that you all are here. So I appreciate each of you for coming in on today's session. I will allow a few more minutes for our other participants to join us before I begin sharing my presentation. So again, thank you for being here. In about 1 or 2 more minutes, we'll get started. For those that are online, if you have any questions or anything, I will be monitoring the chat to the best of my ability. So feel free to drop those there or unmute yourself if you're feeling like that. Same for those in the room. If y'all have questions or anything, get my attention, because once I get to talking about goals, I don't stop, because I'm very, very passionate about this. And hopefully throughout today's presentation, you're able to grab some things from this as well. So 1 or 2 more minutes. I'll give them about 1 more minute. I appreciate each of you for being on time and punctual. I definitely can appreciate that. In the meantime, I'll begin sharing my screen. Just a little bit, not too much. Y'all can't see that. I need to bend it up down. Y'all good? Good deal. All righty, we can go ahead and get started. So thank you all for coming to our first Success Experts presentation of the semester on goal setting. My name is Ariana McGee, and I'll be your success expert for today. And I think this topic is very relevant to being the first one in the semester, right? Because I know it's that new year, new me type energy, or not even new me, new goals. You have some things in mind, some things you want to achieve and accomplish. And right now is the best time to do it. You in the start of the game, right? So right now you have the most strength, the most power to decide and decipher how your semester will go. So I appreciate goal setting. The reason why I appreciate it and I like talking about this is because I've had a lot of goals that I've set and didn't achieve throughout life. And being in this role, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why do I set these goals? I have the best intentions. I want to see these things come to fruition, but I'm not doing something correctly. There's something missing. So I did a lot of research on it. I love to research, I love to read, and I love to write. So I was able to find a formula, a process, I love processes, that is able to help us better achieve our goals and stay on track toward achieving our goals. So I can't wait to share that with you today. So I'd like to begin with this quote. I'm a philosopher of sorts. And I just appreciate, very intellectual conversations. And here is a quote by Tony Robbins, who is one of the best business and life strategists in the nation. He says, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. I'll say that one more time. Setting goals is the first step in turning the visible into, or invisible rather, into visible. Notice they said first step. So being that they said first step, we can kind of imply that there are supposed to be some additional steps that take place after goal setting, right? There's something else that we need to do. Can anyone, be it in the chat or in the room, what are some things that you may think needs to come after you set the goal? What's something else you have to do? Okay, stick to it. What was that? Build on it. That's a very good one. Visual boards. We're going to talk about that. Did you all know vision boards actually help you achieve your goals? Y'all knew that? Some of y'all looking like I done did a couple vision boards. They ain't came life yet, right? And we're going to tell you why that is so throughout the presentation, but that is valid, vision board. I've also seen some people on social media say, create a digital vision board. Most times we create a vision board and we put it in the corner. Or we put it in this one space in this room where we don't get that much attention. We have to constantly revisit that goal. So that's some good feedback. It gets us thinking about what goal pursuit is and what that actually looks like for us. So I'm going to leave the floor open to some more reflection. So I know some of you all are attending this presentation as a requirement for a scholarship, but hopefully you get some out of it in the mix, right? So I want you to think for a second. What problems do you encounter between setting your goals and getting your goals. Setting and getting goals, two totally different things, right? So what are some problems? Think about a goal you set. It could be this year, it could be in years past that you really didn't make progress toward, that you really didn't get the opportunity to achieve. What were some of the problems or issues you noticed that may have impeded your progress towards achieving that goal?
Um, like finding excuses to like do other things on us, like time, be like, oh well, I can just do it later and like pushing it off.
Good deal. Time. That we'll talk about that. Time is a motivator, but sometimes it does allow us to chill a little bit, especially if those deadlines and what we're working towards is further down the road. So that's good feedback. Time. Not thinking about all the things that goes into that. Does anyone else have anything they like to share? Common problems, issues, something you noticed that in the past has prevented you from achieving your goals? Fear. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think we have a growth mindset and metacognition success experts. If you're interested in that, attend that session because they'll give you some practical ways to overcome that fear. But that's what holds a lot of us back. Thinking imposter syndrome, if you've ever heard of that, thinking you're not enough or you don't deserve the areas in which you're in. That could limit your progress towards that goal. Good stuff, guys. Anyone else? It may seem like I have some things going on in the chat here. So lack of confidence. Thank you, Alora, for sharing that. That goes to what Ashley said here online or in this personal space here. Talking about fear, how our lack of confidence, our personal perceptions of ourselves and what it is we do, how we allow those things to impede our progress. I appreciate you all for one sharing those things because that could be a vulnerable moment, right? Identifying those things that you don't do well or identifying the things that keep you from pursuing your goals or even achieving those goals. But I think that's the most powerful thing you can do because everything you name, from being in this room to being online, is all within your power. You can control yourself, right? You can't control other people and how they think and how they view you and what it is that they do, but you can control yourself. You can control and work on improving the ideas that you have about yourself and how they could impact or impede you from pursuing your goals. So let's set. We were focused on setting those goals first, but after we set them, we're going to get them. So today's discussion outline, why should we set goals? Why is it even important? Why we just can't wake up every day and go day for day, not thinking about the next step? We'll talk about that. What's some goal-getting struggles? Some of you already kind of said some of those things, but we'll add to that. Talk about some other things that commonly get in the way of people setting, pursuing, and achieving their goals. I'll talk about two goal types and the one that you should kind of focus on to make sure that you're getting something out of your goal pursuit process. And then we'll talk about what goal pursuit is. It's a formula. It's a process that we all can take, that we all can keep in mind that breaks our goals down into 4 phases that we can all do action in the midst of those 4 phases. I'll give you all some goal getting tips in addition to some goal getting benefits. So why should we set goals? Number one, it helps us prioritize what it is that we want to do. I'm sure if I ask you what your goals are, you could at least name me 3 or 5. I will hope you at least give me 3. 2, we can work with that, but at least more than 1, right? I'm sure all of us in some capacity, we're students. Some of us may be business owners. Some of us may be employees, parents, nieces, brothers, cousins, all of this type of stuff, right? And we have all of these different goals that we need to manage. What deserves our attention right now? What is something that we want to work towards, but it may not deserve or require our immediate attention? We have to put our goals in check, put them in the best place for us to be able to achieve them and succeed doing so. Aside from being able to prioritize your goals, goal setting helps you identify the best way to get there. As my grandfather says, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I might do mine with a knife, you may do yours with a machete or some other type of material, right? But as long as that cat is skinned by the end of the day, it don't matter. Just like there's more than one destination to get to everywhere, right? We know where Walmart on 49 is, or we may know where Southern Miss is, but I guarantee you, all of us have a different approach to getting there, right? That doesn't mean that my approach is different from Ashley's, Layden's, or anyone else in this room or online. But what that does mean is that I need to take ownership of my journey, my path. What does achieving that goal look like for me? So goal setting is a way that you can do that. Outside of that, it identifies an intentional pathway. Intentional. Like I said, you can go anywhere. You can get to USM any kind of way, but what's the best path for you? If you know you don't like riding on 2-lane highways, then maybe you need to get on a 4-lane interstate. It may take you longer, but that's what suits you best. You have options, and goal setting allows you to acknowledge those options. Outside of that, goal setting helps you make action. That's the point where we're missing from the setting to the getting. Because think about something that sits. You don't do that, right? It just be still. You all are sitting. Y'all breathing, you're moving, you're nodding your head. Some of y'all may be walking if you're online, things of that nature. But if you're sitting, you're not moving. There's no action taking place. What they call it, kinetic energy. For my chemistry folks or whatever science that is. Science is not my forte, guys. But yes, you're not moving. You're not adding any momentum to what it is that you do. So these are the reasons that we should set goals, right? To make sure that we know what it is we're pursuing. We're able to identify the best way to get there, and also to just add some momentum. Hopefully y'all are motivated about the goals y'all want to achieve. Does anyone want to share right now with the goal that they're working towards in this new year, be it academic, be it personal, be it professional, something you're working towards? What you got?
I have two main ones. So one is just like bettering my health
Okay.
in general, and then just being more time management and responsible.
Okay, so we have improving health and time management. I'm assuming any goal that you say is a deficit. It's something you're working towards, something that's of value to you that you want to put a little extra hustle, a little extra effort toward to make sure it comes to fruition. Because you know that taking care of your health and better managing your time will have positive outcomes for you. You need to get excited about that. You might not like the process. I'll be real with you and say that. You might not like what that actually looks like, but you should be excited about how pursuing that goal helps you be better. I hope that all of the goals that we pursue here in some way is helping us be better. Let's check in with the chat. Okay, Alora says she likes to end classes with A's and B's this semester. That's great. Brianna says my goal is to work on time management and also procrastinate a little less. Now, Brianna, you said procrastinate a little less. So that tells me you still want to procrastinate at least a little. We're going to work on that. However, I am glad to hear that you do have aspirations of getting your time management together. And all of these are great goals. And it is my hope that each of you all are motivated to pursue those goals. We have Sydney Thompson also saying that she doesn't want to, or they don't want to procrastinate as much and end the semester with good grades. Sophie said, my goal is to minimize stress and keep things on the right track. I hear you guys. All of these goals are valid. And I hope that each of you are able to actualize those goals. But I hope that you're also motivated to take the action you need to achieve those goals. So thank you all for sharing. So what are some common goal getting struggles? This kind of hints to some of the things that you all have already shared in reference to time. So long-term aspiration into short-term action. That's one of the key issues we have with goal setting. Okay, let's say some of your goals that you've all already stated are related to the end of the semester. It's February. We have about 2 or 3 more months before May really gets here, right? So again, that may allow you to relax. That may allow you to chill. We sometimes lose sight of our future goals and what we can do right now, here in this moment, to contribute to that. Sometimes we don't even visualize goal setting as being a long-term investment. We think just because we set that goal, we're going to instantly see it actualize within the next couple of days. Sometimes it takes months, years even, to get your goals, right? So we need to set our goals with that in mind. It's going to take time. You can't rush through the process, because if you rush through the process, you're going to have a half-done outcome, right? You're not going to get the most out of that goal. You're not going to fully actualize what it is that you'd like to get out of that. Number 2, another reason we struggle with getting our goals because we don't identify the obstacles and the challenges. And you may feel like, well, I don't want to be negative. Well, I don't want to identify the worst thing that's going to happen. Because being real with y'all, it's probably going to happen. Right? How many things that you can name in your life, goal-wise, or even anything in general, your day even, reflect on your day. I don't know about y'all day, but my day has gone nothing according to plan, right? Nothing according to plan. But because I may have reflected on those obstacles at least a little bit, I'm better prepared to engage when it comes. Think about when you have an obstacle take place and you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know who you can contact. that further limits you from taking the action you need. Why? Because you got to find all the resources in that moment, on top of getting over the emotions and the feelings you're feeling for getting thrown off track, right? We want to prepare you for that in the beginning. I'm not saying that you should just think about the obstacles and challenges and leave it there. I'm saying we should identify those and then follow up with the resources, support, and strategies we have to overcome those things so we're better prepared. It's just like, think about this as a game, right? Every basketball, football player, they have an offense and a defense. Do you know what opposing teams do in preparation for the game? They study their opponent. They're trying to identify those obstacles and those challenges that that team may encounter that may impede them from making the score that they would like to, from winning the game. They don't just stop, oh, you need to watch number 94, he be all over the field, or he be all over the court doing this. They don't stop there. They say, yes, watch number 94, and here's how you can be able to improve your game up against them, right? We want to play smarter, not harder. The last struggle that we often encounter in reference to getting our goals is outlining the resources, strategy, and support we have. You don't have to do it alone. And to be completely real with you, you're not going to do it alone. If y'all were just supposed to go to class and that's all it is you needed to succeed, I wouldn't have a career right now. I am here because USM invests in employees because they know college is more than what you learn in the classroom. You need support. You need people who are able to push you outside of the classroom, right? You need to identify those resources. Everybody's not good in math. Everyone is not good with public speaking. Everyone isn't good with writing papers. So there are resources, support, and even peers you have among you that are able to help you if that's the area of weakness for you all. For instance, me and math do not get along. Y'all see, I'm better with words, right? So with that, I need to rely on my friends. I need to rely on my coworkers, my connections that I have that are good in math, right? Because I don't have to do everything. You do not have to do everything in pursuing your goal. You don't have to be selfish with it. Someone is going to have to come along with you in the way, right? Identify the right people. And we'll kind of talk about that throughout the presentation as well. So there are two types of goals. I'll go over performance goals first. So performance goals are linked to outperforming others and think that success is not failing. So if you did fail, you won. Point blank period. It's all about winning. It's all about doing the best than other people. That's your only purpose. That's what's driving you to pursue that goal. Simply to be the best. Not to improve your skills, not to learn, not to develop as a person, only to get the bragging rights to say you're the best. Another thing that's related to performance goals, they're also associated with a fixed mindset. If you've ever attended a presentation that I've done, you know I'm also obsessed with growth and fixed mindset. And what a fixed mindset believes is you only have what you have. You cannot acquire anything else. So like I said earlier, I'm not good in math. If I had a fixed mindset, what I would say is I can never get good in math. That's never something I'll be able to do. I don't care how much studying, how much tutoring that I go to, or that I engage in, I will never be good in math. And I can tell you, I don't believe in that. I may not study, I may not put forth those resources and effort to get better in math because I don't feel the need that I have to. But I do know deep on the inside of myself that if I wanted to, I could. But a fixed mindset person, they don't believe in that. Another thing with the performance mindset is prevention, or the performance goal, they're prevention focused. So being that my goal, our performance goal is for me to win, I try to avoid any opportunity that doesn't cause me to win. I try to avoid situations where I don't have a one-up or where I don't have leverage. I cower away in a sense. I don't want to put myself in a position to lose. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Okay, Sydney, thank you for coming. So mastery goals, they differ because they focus on learning. They focus on improving. They focus on being a master. Wax on, wax off type thing. It took a whole bunch of waxing on and waxing off to get a karate, champion, right? It took a lot. So that's what we want to focus on with mastery goals, the improvement, the learning, the process, not the outcome. Performance focus on the outcome, right? Mastery goals focus on the process to get an outcome. It is more associated with growth mindset. I may not win, but I have the tools or something in me that can help me get further along, that can help me develop my skills, that can help me get further toward my goals. And it's more promotion focused. How many of you all know that promotion comes with hardship? College is a promotion for y'all. Y'all know that? Think about where you were as a senior in high school and think about how you've had to maneuver yourself in different ways coming into college. That was a promotion. It's great to tell all your people, all your family back home, yeah, I'm in college, but they don't really know the struggles that come with that. It's a lot of independence, a lot of discipline, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort. All that comes with promotion. How do you expect to get promotion if you're not promoting yourself, if you're not putting yourself in a position to get better? Growing hurts, guys. It's not always comfortable, but what you get on the other end of that is so much more beautiful. Mhm.
When I was in high school, when it was Friday.
You were lit, huh? Right, we have a member here in the audience who said that they had to get used to college studying on Fridays because in high school that wasn't a thing. And now that seems to be a thing. I also do time management sessions, so I am all about people having their weekends. So if you're feeling like you do too much work on the weekends, come holler at me in CSS. We can get that seen about because y'all do need some time away from your studies. You're more than just students. Y'all are people with other interests, so I do want to make sure you give time for that. But I can appreciate your comment, Ashley, because that's likely. College have you doing a whole bunch of stuff you ain't never thought you were gonna do, right? But that's a part of the promotion. That's what comes with it. So we have to reconceptualize what we think promotion is. Think about times you've avoided a situation just because you didn't want to seem like you were quote unquote dumb or quote unquote didn't know everything. But think about what you could have gained from being the one to ask those questions. I'm always the one that's asking no question. I don't care if I seem dumb. I don't care if I seem crazy. I got to get it for me, right? I got to get those things that make sense to me. So although performance goals aren't bad in many instances, if you think about competitive places in sports, performance goals are necessary. But where we are as college students and things like that, we need to focus on mastery. You're here for 4 years to get a degree, right? And hopefully you have mastered something. There's something that you've improved on. You may not be a genius or an expert on it once you leave here, but what you can say is when I left college, I developed this skill. I improved in this way. That's what we want to focus on because sometimes, unlike what the performance people believe, our performance goals believe, you can win. You can gain something from a loss. If it's nothing but a lesson or an experience, you never forget. Those things are of value as well. So the goal pursuit concept, it improves personal performance and goal outcomes by linking short-term action steps to long-term goals. It's about to get active. Okay, we set this goal. We already have our mind in the future. We have to do something right now. Nothing is realer than right now. The future is fictitious. It don't even exist. But in our brain, we don't even know what tomorrow look like. We don't know if it's gonna be cloudy, sunny, none of that. Yeah, we got these forecasts. Yeah, we have these predictions, but we don't know what that's gonna actually look like till it gets here. The only moment we have is now. So use your now to contribute to what it is that you want to do tomorrow. And the goal pursuit process will allow you to be able to do that. It also provides a continuum to map out your goals incrementally. Incrementally means bit by bit. We ain't trying to take big chunks because you might not be able to swallow it all, right? We want to enjoy the meal, take our time, make sure we're seeing some progress over time. And as we incrementally work towards our goals, we hopefully achieve them. Lastly, it provides a unified way to develop and implement strategies and resources for your support. I told you all earlier, I like processes. Why? Because I know what I'm supposed to do from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4. Some things may differ in between, and that's perfectly okay. But the process gives me a consistent way. I also like consistency. If I love to cook. I like my food to be consistent. You know, every time you eat, it's gonna be good. It's gonna taste the same, right? Y'all like that too. Y'all know how the pot pies taste, the cookout taste, all of that type of taste. And if it don't taste like that when you go, you upset. Why? Because there was no consistency there. All of our goals are different. And again, I've already acknowledged the fact that our approach to getting to these goals will also be different. But the goal pursuit process gives you some phases that you can take each one of the goals you set in, okay? So now we're about to break it down. Step 1, goal setting. We already know what that is. That's simply identifying what it is you want to do. What is it that you want to do? And some of you have already shared those things with me, from getting better with your time, prioritizing your health, getting good GPAs. That y'all start, we in step one right now. You attending this session, you already in step one. Goal setting. You identify what it is that you would like to achieve and affirming. I am going to achieve this. I am going to acquire this. Get active with your goal. Don't be like, oh, I think I am. Okay, you think you are, you ain't gonna do nothing. Watch. Because you're thinking, you don't know that for sure. Goal setting, once you set that goal, take ownership of it from the very moment you set it. It should be everything you do. We'll talk about priming. That's what you all talked about a little bit as it relates to vision boards and things of that nature. We'll talk about that. But as soon as you set that goal, to some extent, you need to engulf yourself in it. Begin reading on it. Begin talking to people who are already doing that. Begin getting your resources together to make sure you have the best opportunity to achieve that goal. Step two, goal striving. So when I see this, I'm thinking about a marathon. I'm prepared to run this long race, and I need to start timing myself to make sure I hit my goals. I need to start stretching. I need to start doing some constant repetition to make sure I'm in the best state possible to achieve my goals. And how do I do that? By identifying the obstacles, not only the obstacles, the resources, the support, and the people we have near and dear to us that'll help us overcome those obstacles. Be prepared, guys, to the best of your ability. And you may be able to still think through all those obstacles, to think through all those struggles, and one that you didn't think about will still come up. But because you're better prepared for the other ones, you'll have at least something to acknowledge that other struggle with, right? You got something else? It look like you about to say. Okay. Good deal. So after goal striving, we need to do goal maintenance. Y'all know what I think about when I hear that? An oil change. Because every time you get an oil change, hopefully, your car is still running, right? You able to drive into the dealership or drive into the place you're getting your oil change at. Everything on the outside looks like it's going good. You're making progress, but sometimes we got to get up under the hood. We got to see, is the oil dirty? All the valves greased up like they should be? Is everything connected and in the right space? If not, if you realize that you're not making progress towards your goals, if you realize you're not hitting the mark or it doesn't seem like things are coming together, okay, we need to run a diagnostic test. Is it the car or is it a part somewhere? Is it a process that has fallen short? And based on what we find during that diagnostic test, that let us know how we best need to proceed. What time do we need to invest? What strategy do we need to increase? What resource do we need to reach out to, right? Lastly, goal attainment. This is the overall measurement of your progress towards that goal. So did you hit the mark or not? If you hit the mark, yeah, great. Let's clap it up. Let's celebrate that success. And immediately after, let's identify something else more challenging that you can be able to pursue. Something that still contributes to that goal, but just takes it a bit further. If you did hit the mark, we need to reserve space for that. For one, still celebrate your success because hopefully you've been able to make some level of progress. Then we need to have those real reflective conversations with ourselves and say, okay, how can I ensure that I don't lose this way again? That's what motivates me about losing. When I realize it's an opportunity for me not to make the same mistake twice. If you find out everything that is wrong first, it's great. You just found out what didn't work. Don't dedicate your time there. Don't reinforce your time back into that thing. You found out it didn't work, throw it in the trash, let it go to the compactor and pick up something else that may contribute to your goals more. So this goal pursuit process, number one, we just want to set the goal. What is it that we want to achieve? And after we set that goal, we need to take ownership of it. Number two, goal striving. We need to get prepared. We need to stretch. We need to time ourselves. We need to envision that we are on track for pursuing this goal. Identifying the obstacles we have, the strategies and resources and support we have to overcome them. Goal maintenance, get under the hood. Make sure everything is working as so it should. Make sure that you are in the positive prospects of pursuing that goal, right? That you're on track. If something seems out of whack, get up under that hood, guys. Find what's going on. Do your diagnostics test and be able to decide the best way to move forward throughout the rest of the pursuit of that goal. And lastly, goal attainment. Attainment, when you hear that word, just think about achieving. Even though you may not hit the mark, we're hoping that throughout this process that you make some level of progress, right? Because you're more focused, more intentional about what it is that you're pursuing. So if you've ever did anything in CSS, you should be well aware of SMART goals, but this is our goal setting structure. So goal pursuit is the process and SMART goals is the structure. So number one, specific. That goes to the goal setting stage. Make sure you know exactly what it is you want to pursue. I could say that I want to be a dancer. For one, there are several types of dancers out there, right? So I need to identify what type of dancer I want to be. Hip hop is not ballet. Street dance is not majorette, right? I need to find what works best for me so I can make sure that I can tailor all of my actions thereafter towards that specific goal. Number two, we need to make sure it's measurable. By this, we mean set some benchmarks. Don't just be like, oh, I want to get a 3.0 GPA or 3.5 GPA. What does that look like? What you want an interim grade? It's a long time between now and they do their cumulative GPA in May, right? So if you really want to stay true to that 3.0, 3.5 GPA, identify some benchmarks. That might be, okay, I want a 85 in this class, a 95 in this class, or this GPA at interim grade time. Identify some benchmarks, because if not, how you gonna know you're succeeding? If you haven't identified some steps along the way that's gonna get you there, how are you going to know if you're succeeding? If you're not constantly checking in with those goals. Next, make sure it's achievable. Again, this goes to the goal striving piece. Identify those resources, right? If you know that you have this 3.0, 3.5 GPA goal and you're in an algebra course and algebra isn't your thing, you need to be identifying, okay, is this achievable? I may struggle in algebra, but I do have these resources that I can use. I do have these centers I can go to. Or I got a homegirl, homeboy, my friend, they don't mind, they're good at math. They wouldn't mind setting some study sessions up with me, right? Identifying those things that will help you further achieve that goal. Next is it relevant? Is it even important to you? Is it a goal that you really want to pursue, or maybe one that your parents have imposed on you? Or some of your friend groups, they may all be working towards this one goal and you feel like you should too. Make sure that the goals you set are relevant to you, that they can be tied to something else, that they can be put you in a position to succeed in another area. Going back to what Layden shared with time management and prioritizing their health. With that, those goals, you have some other goals that may be more concrete, but if you do those things, they're relevant because they're linked to another area of success. You want to be a professional, you ultimately want to work in your career, you're gonna need time management with it. Because you'll be working in places where they're like, hey, you have all of these things you need to get done. They don't give you any clear timeline to get it done. And that leads us into timely. Put a date on it. Dates are motivators. We all know, y'all don't think dates are motivators? Let me see how fast y'all type when you forgot about that 4-page paper and it's due at 11:59. Y'all get tornado fingers, right? I can say y'all, we get tornado fingers because I've been in that place myself, right? And that's because we know the date is nearing. We know time is winding down. So if we set that goal in the beginning with the date, again, that's kind of like our benchmarks that we set in step 2, measurable. It initiates action in us. It makes us move. Again, because we know time is limited and we want to achieve that goal within that time frame. Again, going back to my dancer analogy, I can keep saying, I want to be a dancer. I want to be a dancer. I want to be a dancer, but I never say when. And you know what? I may never become a dancer because to me, I'm feeling like I don't have a date to hold me accountable. Dates also hold us accountable, right? You have to perform by this date. So that means that guides what it is that you do from the time you set that goal to the time you get that goal. So as you set goals, I'm not telling you to identify a paragraph or write a sentence down for each letter in this acronym. I'm just telling you that these are things that you should consider as you set your goal. Is it specific or is this too vague? Can I give this a little more to make sure I'm achieving what it is that I want to? Do I have some benchmarks? Do I have some ways to measure? Am I on track for this goal? Have I identified my resources, supports, and strategies that'll make this goal achievable? Is it relevant? Is it something that I really want to do? Is it something that links to other things that I'm interested in? And lastly, what time frame I'm working with? You know, your time will also help you realize what other resources and support you may need. Going back to you can't do it alone. If you realize, okay, I have this limited time to get this project done, this is the most that I can complete. Call on a peer, colleague, or friend that can help you complete the rest if that'll help you slow down your time. Not slow down your time, use your time more wisely. So here are some goal pursuit tips. First is goal priming. So think about, I know my ladies or other people who are makeup enthusiasts, y'all know about priming. We got to get the skin ready, things of that nature. Priming is just about preparation. Putting it in our face. We talked about vision boards. That's a form of goal priming. If you have a vision board, take a picture of it, put it on your screensaver. It's always going to be in your face. Me, I want a Porsche. I can't even say last name. I think it's Macan, Macon, Macan. That's my dream car. So some days I'm in traffic and I'm feeling down. I see a Porsche, I get lit. I'm putting on my favorite song. I'm jamming out because that goal, I'm priming myself to receive that car. Right? I feel like this. I feel kind of invincible to an extent. If somebody else can do it, I can too. Whether I actually do it or not is up to me. But if this person I never met before can achieve all these things to get them a Porsche, I can too. It's gonna look differently from them in traffic, right? My process will look different, but if they can, I can too. Another thing you can do for priming, get around people who are already doing what you're trying to pursue. Or get around people who are pursuing the same thing you want to pursue. Y'all can hold each other accountable. If anyone in this room or on this call wants to be a doctor, start connecting with doctors. You may start talking like a doctor, then even saying words you didn't even know you knew, just because you've been in that environment, right? Those things, goal setting is a mind game. The more we see something, as humans, we're creatures of habit, right? It's just like when you go in Walmart and say you're getting one thing and you come out with 15, just because it's been in your face and now you're thinking about all the ways you randomly need these things that you had never thought about, that's a form of priming as well. Put your goals in your face. Write them down, create a vision board, connect with other people that's already doing that. I want to do that too. Those things can serve as a constant motivator for you. Next is goal visualization. This comes through in our step 2 of the goal pursuit process, goal striving. Envision everything possible you need to achieve that goal. Get lost in the sauce. I never tell students to get lost in the sauce, but when it comes to your goals, that's one thing I want you to get lost in, because you need to be mesmerized by this goal. Like I said, I hope your goals are motivating to you, that you want to pursue it, that you want to try new things that'll help you make aims toward that goal, right? But we need to know and really critically think about what that looks like. What does that look like for me? What are my strengths as it relates to pursuing this goal? What are some of my weaknesses, our areas of improvement, our areas of support that I'm going to have to improve in order to achieve that goal? We need to visualize, get serious about it, guys. No one can help you bring your goals to fruition but you. No one. Even if you have to ask me, Ariana, can we set a time management schedule? It's still you achieving that goal and not me, because it took your initiative to ask me to help you. I can only help you if you ask. I can only be a service to you if you ask, right? And still was at your initiation. So think about visualizing your goal. Yes, set the goal. I know when we set goals, we have high momentum, like, yes, the new year, I'm finna come back to school, I'm finna get this done and that done, and then momentum dies down. Spend some time thinking about that goal and deal. Don't get lost in it sometimes. Yeah, I want this 3.0, this 3.5 GPA. What does that look like for me? Look at your class schedule. Look at, the amount of classes you're taking in general, other organizations you may be a part of, other responsibilities you have. How would they impact whether you're able to pursue that goal or not? Get lost in the sauce. If-then technique. So this is thinking forward about challenges to improve goal pursuit, reduce anxiety, and increase self-reflection. Again, this goes to what we do in step 2 with identifying our obstacles, identifying the challenges. Yeah, y'all might call me a negative Nancy. You may say I'm too real or whatever like that. But the proof is in the pudding, guys. It said this reduces anxiety. You know why? Because you've already kind of thought about it to an extent. So if that situation happens, you don't have to freak out. You may freak out a little bit. Give it about 5 minutes. But after 5 minutes, we need to do something. We need to transcend that energy into something that we can use and something that could be beneficial to what it is that we have doing. So do some if-then thinking. And this again could go in session 2, our phase 2 of goal pursuit. This could even go in goal maintenance when we get in that oil change, checking up under the hood. If this happened, then I can do this. If this doesn't happen, then I may need to do this. Think of the different scenarios. It'll help you play sharper and smarter at the same time. To go thinking. This relies on focusing on what is left to be done and not on how far you have already come, to remain on task and initiate action. Y'all, I'm so bad with this, because me, I will be like, oh, I made it to work on the time. I deserve some Starbucks. I ain't did that. I ain't even sat at my desk. I ain't opened my computer. I ain't checked my planner for the day to see what I got going on. But I feel like just because I made it this far, that I can reward myself. And it's vague. It's empty. It's immature. That's actually how they describe it. It's an immature feeling of satisfaction. We just want to, we always tell me, I need to take care of myself. I ain't did nothing sometimes. I'm not saying that. We all deserve self-care. But sometimes we have to be realistic with our goals. And did we reward ourselves prematurely? Did we achieve something? Yes. Did we make progress? Making it to work on time was good, yes. But I still have 8 hours that I have to be here, right? I have to make use of that time. So thinking about what you have left to go. Now, what is it that you've already done? Because sometimes when we focus on what it is that we already done, again, we get chill. We get lax. We feel like we've done enough work already. And that, again, further impedes us from the amount of time we have to get that goal done or the time that we complete that goal in general. If you feel like you got time, you might take your time, right? Growth mindset, guys. Believe y'all can do this. Don't set a goal if you feel like you can't achieve it, because that feeling of fear, that feeling of inadequacy will keep you from achieving your goals. That's the whole book of growth mindset. Our minds are that powerful. If we believe we can't, we can't. If we believe we can. Literally. Simple as that. What that looks like, of course, is going to be different from person to person, but you have to believe. I don't want y'all to set any goal that y'all feel like y'all can't achieve, because you set yourself up for failure. I know it may be a stretch for you, the goal that you set. I know it may take some extra effort, some extra energy, some extra time and resources that you've never had to employ before. But I genuinely believe that everybody who has shared a goal with me, and even those who have not, y'all can achieve whatever it is you set. I believe it, because I feel like I can do anything I want to do. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it, right? And I want you, and I need you all to really have that same level and sense of empowerment as well. You have to believe that you can grow. You have to believe that you can get better. You may not get an A in the class, but hey, if you had a D and you went up to a C, I'm proud of you, fam. Right? Because that's progress. It may not be the A that you wanted, but you've made progress. And what I tell students often, if you can get from a D to a C, surely you can get from a C to a B. And then from there, you can get from a B to an A. Sometimes going from a D to A may be a little bit unrealistic, but we don't need to sell ourselves short if we made it to that C, because that's still progress. Not where we want to be, of course, but it's progress. So if we keep with that same level of investment in time and money and resources or whatever it takes to make sure we get that A, we'll see it over time. Next is distance bias. This for all my procrastinators, my folks dealing with time management. Basically what it says is, as humans, we value what's in our face and what's in close proximity. Again, think about how fast your fingers move when you know that assignment is due at 11:59 and it's 9 p.m. and you completely forgot about it, right? The longer or further something seems away from us, the less motivated we are to get it done. You can know all semester that you have an 8-page paper, but I guarantee you, sometimes our motivation to get that paper done doesn't hit us to the week before, when we had the entire semester. We maybe even knew that we had the entire semester. Don't let time let you chill. That's why we want to break this goal pursuit process into phases, so your time is used wisely. You don't have to exert too much energy at any point throughout. Because think about it. If you do that paper at 9 p.m. and it's due at 11:59, think about all the effort and energy and pressure and anxiety you placed on yourself to make sure you perform and get that done at 11:59. 9 times out of 10, the quality of work is going to be poor, or not to the extent it would have if you would have taken the full amount of time allotted to create that process or get that project done. Break it down into tasks, guys. You don't have to do everything all at once. I've learned it the hard way. I used to have a problem with that. I feel like I had to finish everything before I could move on to the next thing. Now I'm trying to work on a little bit every day, stop for the day and go back the next day and work on a little bit, because that continues to build and build and build. And before I know it, I've achieved the goal and didn't even realize it. Why? Because I took my time. Underestimation bias. Basically, we underestimate the time, the effort, the energy, the resources that goes into doing something. I do that all the time. Oh, it ain't gonna take me 2 hours to do that. In the perfect world, create some contingency, some cushion, time, money, coins, to make sure that you're able to pursue your goals. If you say that something takes yourself 2 hours to get it done, add another hour. Maybe even 2 if you like to scroll on social media like me. I get lost in the sauce, be on somebody's profile I ain't never seen before, ain't gonna ever see in my life. Now I know all their business. They got 3 kids, they going through a divorce, all that type of stuff, right? So if you know that's how you operate, if you know you easily distracted, things of that nature, make sure you're building that into your process. Give yourself time. That's another reason why it's important to set goals and plan ahead, because you have more time in the beginning than you do at the end, right? So take advantage of that. If you say it's gonna take you 2 times, say 4. If you don't, I said 4 and I put up 3 fingers. Y'all excuse me, it's been a long day. I'm glad y'all online didn't see that. However, if you say something is gonna take you 2 hours, give yourself 4, right? If you don't use that full 4, that's okay. You can dedicate, if it does actually take you 2, use the other 2 hours that you set aside for something else. If it takes you 3, use the other hour to chill or decompress. Give yourself time, guys. As y'all set these deadlines, as you put these timelines on yourself, add a little cushion, just to be sure. I don't want to go, pay for something. I got the exact amount, I'm at the register shaking like, Lord, am I going to have enough money for this? I want to be able to swipe the card. I might not have nothing but 20 cents now, but at least I knew I had a little extra, right? And so budget for that. Budget your time. Budget your resources. We need to budget more than our money, right? And another thing is build your success network, guys. You can't get there alone. And I'm not telling you to go and ask help from everybody you see, because that's not what I'm doing. But I find those people who want to invest in me, be it my peers, be it other professionals that I come in contact with other partners, people that just like what I got going on and they want to be a part of it. I want those people on my team. I don't want the person on my team that's gonna make me feel bad because I'm asking for help or because I'm achieving a goal that may be out of range or of lack of importance to them. They're not the type of people I'm telling y'all to ask for. You felt that, I know. I felt that too. I'm big on that. And I think realizing that has improved my help-seeking behavior. I'm a first-generation college student and professional, so I have this thing of, if I gotta ask these questions, trying to be independent and all of that, that's fine and dandy, but like I said, I've accepted the fact that I need help. And along the way, I've been able to identify those areas and those people I can contact or talk to that make me feel comfortable with asking for help. They don't make me feel like a burden. They really want to see me succeed. They more lit about my success than I am sometimes. And I'm like, dude, could you calm down? Like, I'm not that excited, but those are the type of people you need in your success network. Success ain't cute. Got a lot of long nights, ugly stories, tears, sacrifice, all that type of stuff. And you need to share those people who are appreciative of being a part of those processes, right? Not those people that make you feel bad about them along the way. So what are some benefits? For one, we're going to achieve these goals. We're not just going to set them, we're going to get them. That gives you a sense of confidence. I want you all to feel confident when you leave USM. Besides, I tell students all the time, if the only thing you get from USM or any school is a degree, you failed. You probably like, how? Like, I got the degree. Like, that's what I came for. But you should be making connections. You should be gaining skills. You should be developing new interests and new habits. If all you leave with is a degree, your employer's gonna be wondering where everything else is. She got the credentials, or they have the credentials, what it is they need. Where's their time management? Where are their interpersonal skills? Where are their leadership abilities? Right? So I want you to get these goals so you can be able to use it as experience in other situations. And getting goals makes us feel good. I feel good when I cross stuff out my to-do list. Right? We feel good when we've worked towards this goal. I had a goal last year of reading more. I do a lot of research. I have done research in the past years once I was in school, but I was like, I want to read something that's interesting to me, like not just stuff related to school. So I started reading. I was on a dedicated, I have a business. I work here full time. I love my family. I'm trying to spend time with them, things of that nature. So I'm like, where am I going to fit this in? Like, I want to read books. I started going home on my lunch break. I want to read 30, 45 minutes. But being that I set aside that time, again, consistently, over the course of the year, I was able to read 12 books last year. Went from 0 to 12, right? That made me feel good. This year, I might get up to 15, 20. Don't play with me. But that was something that made me feel good about myself. And it also allowed me to see if I can do this over here, I can do something over there. It's a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. I don't want nobody walking the earth feeling like you just like, why I'm here, I ain't getting nothing done. I don't want y'all to feel like that. That's no way to live. I felt like that before throughout life. I'm glad that I've been able to overcome those phases, but I know they may come again, right? And through getting your goals, temporarily, it provides a sense of purpose, a sense of, I was able to bring something to life. Even if you did have to ask somebody, I had the strength to ask someone to help me with my time management. I had the strength to ask someone to help me get better with my math, right? You feel empowered by that. Next, confidence and resilience. Aside from improving your mood, you feel good about yourself. I can do this now. That's why I say, if I show myself one thing, I'm applying it to another. If I've been able to overcome one situation, hopefully I use that same energy to overcome another, right? So it builds your confidence and also your resilience. You need resilience in college. Y'all know what resilience is? That's your bounce back. That's all it is, your bounce back. When you get knocked down, your ability to come back, to not let it phase. You might, get ghosted a little bit, shaken, shook up a little bit, but you're able to get back in the game like nothing ever happened. You need that in college. You need that in college. You may get an F in the class, okay, you got to bounce back, be it take another professor, or sit with your head held high in the same professor class, knowing that you're going to do better. You need that bounce back. And lastly, it helps you build and develop your success network. Find y'all people, bro. That's as simple and as honest as I can say it. Find your people. From the peers that you have that want to see you succeed, professionals. I'm one of them. I don't know half of y'all, but I am here for y'all's success, bro. Just schedule a meeting with me and we can talk about those things. And hopefully you've been able to identify some other professionals on this campus that are contributing, are investing in your dreams. Some professors you may have taken a liking to, like, oh, I like them. I want to get a little connection, maybe get a letter of recommendation a couple of years down the road or something like that. Find your people, find your peers, find your friends, because they will be sometimes the motivating factor and force that you have to make sure that you achieve your goals. And now I want to end with the same quote I began with. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible to visible. Step 2 is on you. Step 2 is on you. Thank you for attending this session. Feel free to stay connected with the Center of Student Success. We have our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which this presentation, as well as all of our other Success Experts presentations, are housed. So if you ever need a refresher on this information, I want to know about other success topics we talk about in CSS, feel free to visit our YouTube, and we do a little 1-2 on Twitter, not too much as it relates to that. I'd like to thank you, and I look forward to succeeding with you. If anyone is online participating in this program for your scholarship, I just ask that you drop your name in the chat so I can get a quick picture of that to be able to record your attendance. But other than that, I thank each of you all for showing up here today. If you have any questions, feel free to stick around. If not, I hope you have a great day. Come see me at CSS, guys. If anybody in the room needs my business card or anything like that, just holler at me. Thanks, Brianna. You too. Oh, yeah, y'all good to go. I got y'all name.